Hi everybody, it's Jessica. Funny thing, I just thought I was recording, but I wasn't recording, and I made it through almost my entire Devo before I realized that. So, here we go. We're gonna do this again. Take 2 or 3. Welcome to your Thursday Devo. We are in a series called Words, Not Weapons. Kaylee started it a couple weeks ago, and then we had a little break, and now we're back with that series. Also, if you didn't know, we are meeting in person on campus on Tuesday nights. You can join us for Wildside. It's called Summers at Wildside. Look for more info. We'll be doing it for a while. That being said, here we go into our Devo. Words, not weapons. So, we say a lot of things and we hurt a lot of people with our words, and we're not very careful with our words. And so we want to just concentrate on that and talk about that a little bit. And Kaylee started it out 2 weeks ago talking about how our words with other people, like people we don't really know but you come in contact with, like at a Starbucks or on the street, and how when we are kind and compassionate and loving, people see that we're different. And when we're patient, because a lot of times people, especially if they're working in retail, or service things, a lot of customers aren't very patient or very nice with people behind the counter. And so when we are nice, it says a lot and people notice. So be kind, be compassionate. And then today we're going to talk about words with friends, and not the game that was popular as an app a number of years ago on your smartphone, but how we talk to our friends. And I think in middle school, what happens, where we fall short tends to be in 2 areas. 2 is the number for today. So first is kind of insults, when we say things and we make fun of people, but then we're like, oh, it's just joking. I didn't really mean it. I don't know why you're hurt, right? And so we do that a lot. And sometimes we do that because we don't want people joking and saying things about us. And sometimes we do that because we're just careless or thoughtless. And I know that I've been hurt, and I've used my words to hurt that way, and I'm sure you have too. And we know our friends, and we know what they like about themselves and what they don't, and we know what they're self-conscious about. And sometimes when we're not really thinking, or maybe we feel backed into a corner and we don't want to have the attention on us, we flip it around and we say something or insult somebody else so that we think we look better, right? And then we think we can just dismiss it when we say, oh, I didn't really mean it. I was just kidding. But words still hurt, and whether you're joking or not, you can hurt your friends with your words. And it doesn't really matter that you say it and then say you're kidding, because you can't take it back and you already said it. So be careful, love your friends well, and don't poke fun at them and don't insult them and then try to take it back, because you can't. It's like trying to put toothpaste back in the tube. It just doesn't work. The second area that I think we fall short in middle school with our words when it comes to our friends is in gossip. And, a lot of us like to think, oh, I'm not really a gossip. And maybe you don't gossip that much. That's awesome. But we all have friends that we tend to talk to or talk about, right? And so maybe when you're with Amy, you talk about Caitlin. And maybe when you're with Caitlin, you talk about Amy. Well, guess what Amy and Caitlin are probably talking about when you're not there? You. Right? And so we gossip, and sometimes we don't have ill intent. We just kind of get caught up in it. We're not trying to spread rumors or make people look bad, but we're also not being very thoughtful or kind with what we say. And it's important to do that. And there's a verse in Proverbs 26. Here's my super old Bible I've had since I was in high school. It's duct tape to keep it together, but Proverbs 26:20 says, without wood, a fire goes out. Without gossip, a quarrel dies down. And when you refuse to gossip or spread rumors or talk about your friends or talk about other people, the fire dies out, right? A fire needs fuel to burn, and gossip needs to be repeated to work, right? And so when we don't gossip, we put an end to those things, and we show kindness and love to our friends. And then I have another verse in James. One of the most famous chapters in the Bible about controlling our words is James 3. And it talks about how our tongues are very powerful, and they set the course of our lives. They set our direction like the rudder on a ship, which is something James talks about. But here's another one. He says, likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. And we live in an area of the country where we have these dry falls. In a year that we don't get a lot of rain, we can have forest fires, and those forest fires can do a lot of destruction just with one little spark. It doesn't take much to cause destruction. And the same thing is true with our words. And so think about that this week. Think about how you talk to your friends, how you talk about your friends. Are your words encouraging and uplifting? There's a verse in Hebrews that says, let us consider how we can spur one another on towards love and good deeds. And do you do that with your words? One of the easiest ways to spur each other on is to encourage each other, right? So be careful with your words. Don't tear people down. Don't tear your friends down. Build them up. Tell them what you like about them. Tell them the good things that you see that they're doing. If somebody tries to talk about one of your friends, just say, no, I'm not going to gossip. I'm going to use my words to encourage and be loving. So we love you guys. We are excited, so excited that we can meet in person again. Look for more info about this coming Tuesday, and love your friends. Talk about them well. Use your words to heal and not to wound. Peace out.